Hey, what's going on, guys? Jason here, and thanks for stopping by the shop today. In this video, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to pull a transfer case out of a Cherokee. This is a pretty simple job, and anybody with a jack and some basic hand tools can do this no problem. It makes it a little bit more difficult if your vehicle's not lifted, but if it is, it makes it a whole lot easier to maneuver around and get to stuff that you may need to get to. Along the way, I'm going to show you a couple tools that maybe make your job a little bit easier, and I'm going to go ahead and give you a couple tips on how to do this safe and effectively. So let's go ahead and take a look. Alright, what a pain that was. Alright, so the first step in securing the vehicle is making sure that we got something underneath the vehicle to take care of the duty of holding the transmission up. So, with the drive line of the vehicle removed, make sure you either set the parking brake or chock the rear wheels to prevent the vehicle from rolling. Our next step here is to pull out the 413 millimeters for the transmission. And we want to go ahead and pull those out. That way when we drop this cross member, that just goes ahead and falls free and we can just pull that transmission off. It'll be a lot easier. Let's go ahead and get to it. Alright guys, so that gives us access now to our transmission mount, so we can get that out of the way, pull the transfer case linkage, and go ahead and move on to step number 3, which is pull the transfer case out. Alright guys, so now we're to step 3. There's no real magic here. I mean, you disconnect the linkage. It's easiest to do it right here at the lever on the transfer case. The way I do it is I just use a big pry bar and pry it backwards out through the bushing. If it gives you a little bit of trouble, just spray that bushing with a little bit of PB Blaster or something like that and it'll pop right out. The next thing that we got to do is we got to pull the bolts. There's 6 of them in total around the circumference of the transfer case. So we will go ahead and get in a position to pull those. This process simply did not go to plan. The nuts were very rusty and I had a terrible time removing them.
Thousands of tears later.
Alright guys, so I got the 6 bolts off the transfer case and they were a fight, okay? One of them stripped out and I had to actually cut the nut off there, which is a real pain. Pretty much destroyed the stud, but it is what it is. So I'm to a point now where I should be able to just go ahead and give this transfer case a little bit of a jerk and get it off there. Because we've got everything disconnected except this wiring harness right here, so we probably need to take care of that. But everything else is a go, so this thing should be able to just drop right out of there. But instead of just dropping it like a sack of rocks, I think I'm gonna try to rock it off there with the jack. The transmission right now is being bound up by the actual shift linkage right there. So it's being held by that. I know that's probably not the safest or the best place for it to be, but that's what's supporting it right now. You know what? We're just going to go ahead and try to walk this thing backwards off this shaft and see what happens. Let's just hope for the best. Oh yeah, there's our transmission fluid. Yay. Fail on that. Definitely should have had a drain pan there. Rip driveway. Alright, so it looks like they're pretty close to dropping off there. We have just got a little bit remaining. Oh, that sucks. I'm gonna have to get a lot of oil dry for that. Okay, let's get this off here. So there it is, guys. I'm gonna jack this transmission up real fast. Save a little bit of the fluid. So there we are. Transfer case is pulled. The transmission sits right there. We have got a little bit of cleanup to do, guys. I made a bit of a mess. I hate making a mess in my driveway. But it is what it is. Sometimes we gotta do what we gotta do. All right, guys, so that was it. Pretty easy job. Not too bad pulling a transfer case out of a Cherokee. Like I said, it could be a little bit easier if your vehicle's lifted, but other than that, no problem. 6 bolts, cross member, transmission mount, donezo. Okay, so a couple things that I want to talk about real quick before we end this video is where are we going with the Cherokee from here? Well, we're going to go ahead and donate some parts off of the big XJ over to my dad's Jeep so we can keep moving. So the next part in all this stuff is going to be lifting the Jeep up. We do have a transfer case to throw back in, but I want to do a couple things to that transfer case before we throw it in. So we're going to lift the Jeep. We're going to put 4.5 inches of lift on there. We're going to get it up, and it's going to be a lot easier to do anything else that we need to do in the future. So that's coming up next. Make sure you guys hang out for it. Once again, I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for stopping by, and if you made it to this point in the video, please hit the like down right, yeah, there. Thanks. We'll see you guys next time.